All right, everybody, and welcome to Option Pit. I'm Andrew Giovinazzi, Chief Operating Officer. This is the Vol Report, and we've got some today, or lack of it. Also, for all of you who are signing up for our Platinum class, you should see it on the schedule today. You will also start seeing an event on Saturday morning. All right. So if anybody's having schedule problems, also strategy letter. Okay, what you need to do is click on a link, cruise down, okay, at the bottom, and you'll have to resubscribe if you want the email alerts to what's going on. Again, but really we only send updated in the morning, we updated at the pit report, and we're putting all basically stop prices and things like that are all going to be in here in the trading notes. Right, we're going to preload everything, so it's going to make us closing the positions a lot easier, a little bit more, a little easier to get the word out and for us to manage it. All right. Let's see here. Now let's talk about, okay, if anybody has any questions on what's driving the market. Okay, here's the Greek finance minister, right? Handsome looking guy, proposing to swap his country's government debt held by the central bank and the official sector for growth-linked and perpetual bonds. Okay, this has everybody thrilled. Okay, now let's see what it has of all markets, because there's zero news here today in the rest of the world, right? So what do we got here? Hold on here. Where's my, let's get this up. Again, if you're here, just mute yourself because my global mute doesn't work. Oil stopped sliding, no job cuts on the sector. All that stuff is positive, right? Okay. That's all positive news, help lifting all these stocks, right? You've got Swan, Rig, all these stocks are having a nice, if you didn't scoop any of that stuff, well, you know, whatever. We had some exposure to it. We had positions. They worked out for the most part. We took them off. But oil looks like it's bouncing a little bit. However, VIX now, yeah, I believe is reflective of what's going on in Greece. Okay? And since the news is better, we're up 1%, but quick. Okay? We could easily be down 1% tomorrow if they start arguing again. Who knows? But right now, at least I'm thinking all of that is driven. Anything that sounds good over there will make our market rip. And like Nikos points out a little bit, there's other good stuff, right? Oil's up a little bit. That's good for the sector, even though a lot of the earnings on those big companies did not look good, obviously, in the fourth quarter with the oil drop. So the kind of trades that we're looking at, again, I still like the time spread idea, right? Because while the broader market vol is starting to go down for now, that could easily change. Right, so until this deal is done, expect more volatility sort of near the money. So looking for cheap gamma, like double calendar, stuff like that, I think are still going to work pretty good. As far as going out and selling Vega like longer term, I still think that's a harder trade. Okay, mostly because I think that's more or less fairly priced. And that's what we got. So as far as, I guess, the last thing really that's starting to tip our scales a little nicer, we instantly went to a normal contango. Okay, the term structure is pretty flat. You only have about 70 cents from Feb to August. So that is still what I would call a worried term structure, right? But it's not the panic mode term structure that we saw yesterday in the close, or yesterday, you know, probably in the first hour of the day. if we do see this Greek thing, if they do have a real settlement here relatively quickly, the numbers we could see for the vol products, okay, could be very low, right? And I'm talking like making new lows for 2015, somewhere like 27, 26, total evaporation of these things, right? Because the earnings season's pretty much over. The Greek thing is the last thing that's really has been driving market volatility here for the last week, right? Pretty clear. But if it actually goes away, we could see a 14 VIX again, because it kept trying to go back there until Greece. Okay. So that's why the moves, if we're going to get moves, they're going to be, I think if that happens, you'll get that larger move. Either it's a disaster and vol pops hard again, or any kind of reasonable settlement, if it happens in the month of February, will tank vol really hard. All right? And that's what we got for the picture. So we still have that tendency to move large, which is why the term structure is so flat. Okay, the flatter this term structure is, the more the tendency short term for large market moves or dislocations. Okay, and until that goes away, once I start seeing that subside a little bit, I can get more excited about short and vol. All right, because this is literally, we've seen this movie before. This is like the first happy day, right? 24 hours of happiness out of the ECB in Greece. Right? We saw the movie in 2011, 2012. Right? All the same thing. It tends to be prolonged. All right, everybody. But the oil bouncing a little bit. Interesting. Maybe there is some trade in there now, especially down around the prices that they were. Okay? So you've kind of set the lows for what's going to happen in a lot of these names. Maybe we could go back and look at for selling some puts like, down in that level, right? Down to when, we were trading like $43 a barrel. Because it seems like we kind of set the low end of the range there, and we can explore that. All right, everybody. You guys all have a good day. And I will be on at 10:15. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.